What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Jorginho's Team of the Year. We've managed to get a very good price of 1.48. I think at the moment it's going for about 1.6, just under on the Xbox. He has had an upgrade from a 3-star to a 4-star, which is always absolutely perfect. And I think it's going to make this card a hell of a lot better. So in terms of the stats, looking at just the base, he looks very well rounded. Pretty much like the other two Team of the Years, they are incredible. So he is the final one that we're looking at today. Obviously, we had to go tradable. I tried to get him as much as possible, and it's taken quite a while, but we have got him, and it's the final one, and we have then just the 5 to go in 2 days, I think, to get the goalkeeper and the whole defense. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. If you want to be the first to see them, make sure you hit that like and subscription button with the bell button on so you get notified whenever them reviews do come out. We've used all the attackers, and now we have used all the midfielders. In terms of Jorginho's stats, passing, again, absolutely sublime. He looks incredible. Obviously, the chem star we're going to be going for is the Shadow. Ends up with 97 pace, 92 defending, and turns him into a 96 DM or 97 centre mid as shown on the card. Pace-wise, pretty decent. That goes up to 97 with 99 acceleration and 95 sprint speed. We already have relatively good shooting, some good shot power. Obviously, the finishing for a centre mid isn't bad at all. Incredible passing throughout. Dribbling-wise, again, very much like Conte. I think De Bruyne is all I think it's De Bruyne is like. Conte is all 90s. De Bruyne has got the agility balance just at the high 80s. Defending obviously goes up to 92, which is no problem. And then the physicality, great aggression, great stamina. And being 5'11", heading wise, I think he's going to come a little bit at a time. So without further ado, let's see if he is worth 1.5 mil. So then let's get this game underway. Let's have a look at Jorginho and see what we can kind of expect from him. Like, he's had that upgrade on his skill moves, which is just absolutely perfect. As I think 3-star for a mid that's going to be running forward as well as defending might personally not be good enough. I feel like Conte can get away from it just because of his sort of DM elements, whereas I think Jorginho really would struggle not to have at least the 4-star weak foot. So it is nice that they have upgraded it. I really didn't think they would, but obviously they have thought otherwise. And I've been seeing across a couple of reviews already and different stuff that he genuinely has got a pass of just incredibleness. So that's going to be something very interesting to see. It's a lovely little spin. Goes for the shot, tries the low driven, get it back to him again. This guy is just trying to foul to get his way out of the game, but we are not letting him until Jorginho finds himself a little finesse, and yeah, not going that way. I think the big thing for Jorginho as well, and I think it's why Lawan as well is kind of an interesting one, because not necessarily that they're the most affordable, but most definitely they're going to be the most cheapest Team of the Years that we're going to find. I'm interested to see how Donnarumma does, because he's, in my personal opinion, a very good keeper. I feel like he's going to be quite interesting to see what his sort of price is at, because normally he is going to be the cheapest. And if we carry on the way we're going with this, I feel like we could see our first goalkeeper under $1 mil before Team of the Year even ends, depending on obviously the pack weight for him. But most definitely with Jorginho, an outfield player, and obviously Lawan, who is very highly rated, being 1.5, Jorginho on the first day being 1.5 is absolutely crazy. But that is where the kind of affordability comes in. If they're the cheapest, it means that they're the easiest Team of the Years to get into your club for absolutely everybody. Not everybody has that 5 to 6 mil for an Mbappe or Ronaldo or Messi, whatever. Jorginho as well is a very interesting card, just for the fact that I don't think he necessarily has that specific role. Like how kind of De Bruyne is slightly more attacking, Conte is obviously more defensive if anything. He's kind of more the passing sort of area with a sprinkle of just a massive upgrade now. So it is quite interesting to see how well he can actually perform in all of them areas. And I'm expecting a very good assister more than anything. Somebody who's going to work up and down, probably has some decent sort of defensive stats now, but not necessarily a solid DM on his own, but most definitely can kind of hold his own if needed, kind of on the counter or something like that. But I think most definitely he's had a lovely upgrade, don't get me wrong. I think the big thing that does save him is that 4-star. That is a huge upgrade that I think if they didn't do, he could be worth almost I'd probably say a hell of a lot less than what he's probably going to drop down to. More than likely over the course of the whole team of the year, once obviously everything has been put back into packs, we've had upgrades, then maybe we might see him drop to a mil. That I think that is more than a potential with obviously the decrease today already. And obviously it depends on what console you're on, as I think everybody seems to be completely different in sort of prices. But so far so good with him. He does seem very aware of being able to get that ball to your opponent, and that is a stunner. And if anything, you're paying for the design. I think the design again this year, well, it's a great takeaway. The design this year again is absolutely sensational. So you could just imagine that price tag is going to be tenfold just for that. Seems to be holding in that middle very nicely. Who needs Conte when you've got a bit of George here? But I think most definitely in terms of team of the year, again, like most years, I think like everybody in the community would be happy with absolutely anybody. All high rated, dynamics are absolutely on point. Upgrades most definitely are on point, and I think just a very enjoyable promo once we get the upgrades going, because I think that is then where it all starts. And Jorginho just missing out to a good save there from the Eredivisie keeper. Gonna run through, gets his rocket. Jorginho, thank you very much, and let's see if I can make some coins off you. So going into the overall for Jorginho then. So he's coming in at about 1.599, 1.6 just about on the Xbox, 1.7 on the PS, and 1.8 on obviously the PC. So in terms of what we can expect from him then, obviously with the Shadow, you definitely get a lovely pace increase, pretty much maxes it out to as much as possible. Obviously the defending as well then gets maxed out again to what you can, because everything else is pretty fantastic. We've already got a good amount of shooting on him. Personally, I don't think he needs any more so than he needs a bit more on that defending. The passing is, yeah, I think the passing just speaks for itself. Very much like a De Bruyne sort of card. He can ping it left, right and centre, and I think that is where this game gets interesting, because cards like this that have that ability to do everything and then have almost 99 passing are going to be just next level. The passing game is a huge one, and if you could just keep pinging it around people, you have 298 passers in the game. There's very little you can do to get that ball back if you don't misplace a pass. Dribbling wise, fantastic. The agility balance I think does play at a high level. Most definitely the balance feels good, so 85 is definitely a good number for him. Great composure on him. The defensive ability, more so the interceptions than anything. Tackling wise I think he's okay, but I think it's more interceptions with Jorginho. Very much like a Conte sort of role. He kind of just fits himself in. His positioning is very nice. Obviously the medium on the work rates aren't the most ideal. We always like a high on a box to box, but most definitely they still do their magic where going forward and backwards is always not a problem as such. And as well with the physicality, strength wise holds its own enough that he needs to, but aggression and stamina both coming in very high levels, which is always fantastic as well. And I think it's been a very successful midfielder team of the year this year. Really happy with the three that we've got. Obviously everybody's dropping down nicely now. Conte is now the most expensive, which obviously he was second. De Bruyne has dropped down to 2.5 compared to when I did him he was 4.8, so a huge drop there. But all three midfielders, if you could get them in your team, you are more than happy with what you've got there. All Prem, all linking. Obviously Jorginho, Conte with the nice strong link. KDB will fit in anywhere, most definitely. But I think I think we've got a really nice solid team of the year midfielders at the moment. The next step is obviously going to be the defenders and goalkeeper. Cannot wait to get my hands on a goalkeeper Donnarumma. Really love his gold card, so hopefully that is at least one that we pack at the very minimum. But I think Jorginho coming in quite nicely. I would actually argue that he is a 10 out of 10. I kind of went into this when I saw him thinking probably a 9 out of 10. Obviously before seeing the upgrade on the weak foot and skill move going from 3 to 4, I really thought that he was going to be a not necessarily useless card, but definitely not upgraded to the ability that he actually is. So very happy with Jorginho. Passing is definitely his main attribute. Pace is quite a decent one. Good interceptions, I think that comes up in the top 5 at the minimum, and then obviously the dribbling or carrying of the ball is very nice indeed as well. So overall, 10 out of 10. Let me know if you're going to be getting Jorginho or you're thinking about it, or later on, have you packed him? Let me know down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace.